All right, let's talk about it. We're diving right into what is honestly one of the most frustrating, time-draining parts of the IELTS reading test, matching headings. If you've ever just hit a wall with this question type, felt your confidence just disappear, this is for you.
So you see this question type, right? You've got a list of headings, a bunch of paragraphs. All you have to do is match them up. Sounds easy enough, maybe even a little chill, but anyone who's actually sat down to do it knows, yeah, it's not. But that's what we're going to fix today. We're going to flip the script on this one.
And this right here, this is the core of it all. This is the real question the test is asking. It's a test to see if you can see the big picture, the forest, without getting hopelessly tangled up in all the tiny distracting details, the leaves. Okay, so let's break this down. If we're going to beat this question type, we first have to understand what it's actually testing. And trust me, it's probably not what you think it is.
So look at this. This is so important. The test isn't really checking your vocabulary or if you understand every bit of grammar. What it is testing is your strategy. Can you find the main idea quickly? Do you get why the paragraph was written? And, maybe most importantly, can you ignore all the tempting little details designed to distract you and burn through your time?
And that leads us right to the single biggest mistake I see students make over and over again. It's this impulse that feels so natural, but for this task, it's completely wrong.
Okay, this is the big mindset shift you need to make. Get this, you do not need to understand every single word. Trying to do that is exactly what they want you to do. It's a trap. What you really need is something I call directional comprehension. It's about knowing where the paragraph is going, not stopping to look at every single thing along the way.
You know, it's kind of like when you hear a new song. You don't need to catch every single lyric on the first listen to know what it's about. You instantly get the vibe, right? You know if it's a party anthem or a breakup song. That's it. That's directional comprehension. It's about getting the vibe of the paragraph.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the problem. We know the mindset we need. Now for the good stuff, the actual step-by-step strategy that's going to give you clarity and, believe me, a whole lot more confidence.
Seriously, if you forget everything else I say today, remember this one thing. You always read the headings first. Always. Before you even glance at the paragraphs. Think about it. You wouldn't just wander into a new city without looking at a map, would you? The headings are your map. The paragraphs are just the territory. So here's the game plan, step by step. 1. Read all the headings. Get a feel for the topics. 2. Skim the first paragraph. And when I say skim, I mean only read the first and last sentences. That's usually where the main idea is hiding. 3. Go back to your list and find the heading that sums up the whole paragraph's purpose. 4. And this is super satisfying, cross out the heading you just used. The process of elimination is your best friend here. But what does skimming actually mean here? It's not just reading fast, it's strategic. You're like a detective hunting for clues only in the first and last sentences. And at the same time, you have to actively ignore what I call detail bait, all those specific names, dates, stats, and examples. They're just there to pull you off track. Don't fall for it.
All right, so you've got the strategy. But IELTS is clever. They're going to set traps for you. The good news is they're super predictable. Once you see them, they lose all their power. Okay, trap number 1. This is the classic. You see a word like environment in a heading. You see it again in the paragraph, and your brain just lights up and goes, "That's it. That's the one." Hold on. The heading might be about protecting the environment,
while the paragraph is about damaging it. You've got to match the main idea, not just a lowly keyword. Next up, we've got the too narrow trap. This is a heading that's technically true for like one sentence. It'll match an example in the middle of the paragraph perfectly, but you have to ask yourself, is this heading the big umbrella that covers everything in the paragraph, or is it just a tiny cocktail umbrella for one little detail? And the third big trap, the evil twin headings. You'll see two options that look almost the same. Something like the reasons for a problem and the solutions to a problem. It's usually just one tiny word, like reasons versus solutions. But that one word changes the entire meaning. You have to read these super carefully. Okay, now for a game-changing hack. You need to know that most of these academic paragraphs are built the same way. They're predictable. They start with a topic sentence, that's the main idea, then they explain it, give an example, and maybe add a detail. Your job is to match the heading to that first topic sentence. If your heading matches the example in the middle, warning bells should be going off. You've probably fallen for that too narrow trap. So, when you put all this together, you realize it's more than just a technique. It's a whole new way of thinking. It's about adopting the mindset of someone who scores high on this test. Just look at the difference here. It's night and day. On one side, you have the low-band approach, trying to read every word, falling for keyword traps, panicking, and running out of time. On the other side, the high-band mindset, skimming with purpose, focusing on the why of the paragraph, trusting elimination, and staying calm. See, it's not about being a faster reader. It's about being a smarter reader. And when it all clicks, when you start seeing the test this way, that's when the magic happens. The IELTS reading section stops feeling like this confusing, stressful maze, and it starts feeling like a pattern you can solve every single time.